Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RAYGO Reactions. How is everybody doing? Boys and girls, we're actually doing something very different on today's episode. Reason being, one of our subscribers by the name of Lauren come up with a pretty good idea actually. She said, Joe, please react to Poterbello Belle live. Hold on. Apologies guys. Let's get this sorted. React to Poterbello live at the Rainbow in 1979 by Straits. And if you're interested, also react to the Poterbello Belle version in 1983 at London, the Hammersmith. Now, these haven't got videos, it's just audio, so I'm going to listen and just basically, because I've never heard this song anyway. But the whole point is, she said, what might be fun is if you react to these and compare them, because in 79 they didn't have the keyboard player, you know, they didn't have all the keyboard player and the piano and etc. It was just a four-piece with Mark Knopfler's brother. That's all it was at the time. So I want to hear what it's like with keyboard and without, and see, you know, if there was a dramatic difference, because there was a dramatic difference, but realistically, did they need to go that far? Because, you know, Mark Knopfler himself was like, it got too big. I was going into the rooms and I didn't know who anybody was anymore, and I just didn't want to do it. He liked it when it was a tucked in, nice, tight, four-piece band. And, you know, the moment it got too big, and in fact, there's another, that happened to Guns N' Roses as well. They were nice and happy as a five-piece band playing, you know, all these little places. And then they got a piano player, they got a choir, and it got too big, and before you know it, none of the boys wanted to be there anymore. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. Where is, here we go. Let's go, right. 1979, live at the Rainbow, Poterbello Belle. Is that food? Am I tripping, or is that food? I think it is. I like it already. Let's go.
Belladonna's on the high street, her breasts upon the offbeat, and the stalls are just the sideshows. Victoriana's old clothes, and yes, her jeans are tight now. She gonna travel light now, gonna turn up all the roofs now, gonna turn up for the boots now. She thinks she's tough, she ain't no English fool. But that lion singer, he's seen enough and he knows. They do a song about a long gone Irish girl, but I got one for you, Poterbello Belle. She sees a man upon his back there, escaping from a sack there. Belladonna lingers, her gloves they got no fingers. Yeah, Simon singing Irish, get his money in a tindy, just a corner serenader. On a time he could have made her.
You know what? I have to say, and I have said this a couple of times, I like the Rock Palast era. That's what I'm going to call it. But the late 70s Dire Straits, the early stuff by them, I really like it. And I like the Rock Palast, like Where Do You Think You're Going, and Single-Handed Sailor. I love those songs, and if I'm honest, I actually play Single-Handed Sailor quite. That's probably the most song, the one I play the most in the car. But it's just, I like how it's so raw, and it's raw because it's the fundamentals of rock and roll. It's just the two guitars, bass, and the drums. And it's almost like it's so simple, like Irish. You know what I mean? It sounds very simple in your ears to listen to, but it's also like, you know, like Water of Love. To me, this is quite folky. I think from the very beginning, Mark had that folk sound, and then he went into a bit more that soft rock, poppy sound throughout the 80s. And then, as he got older again, he came back down to this with a bit of a Celtic vibe. But you could tell his fundamental roots are that of folk. At least that's what I pick up on.
She thinks she's tough. She ain't no English rose. But the blind singer, he's seen enough and he knows. Do a song about a long, long Irish girl.
Bob Dylan vibes,
But I go one way.
but better.
Poterbello Belle. Yes, and the barrel boys are honking,
That's nice.
and the parakeet is squawking. Upon a truck there is a rhino. She get the crying of a wino, and then she hear that reggae rumble. Belladonna's in the jungle, but she is no garden flower. There is no distress in that tower. Belladonna walks, Belladonna taking a stroll. She don't care about your window box or your buttonhole. She do a song about a long gone Irish girl. But I go one for you.
Nice drums.
Poterbello Belle.
Bass as well. Sick. It's just that, guys, honestly, that clean rock and roll to me. That bass. You know what I mean? That just playing whilst... But I guess it was... That's just so simple. Simple stuff. I love it. I love it because I just picture that's so. It just goes to show you can do it with just a 4-piece band. You know what I mean? You don't need all this massive orchestra sound anymore. If you really are that good like these, and you strip it down, you can go in a club only has 100 people in, play your lead section, have one guitar to your left, the bass and the drums, and if it's really good like these, people are gonna like it. This kind of genre to me it's the ultimate best. It really is. I'm intrigued now to see. Let's compare it, guys. Let's compare it and see what it's like with the keyboard. And this is at Hammersmith Odeon, London. I'm getting it. If I'm getting it wrong, but isn't Hammersmith the Alchemy gig, or is that different? Wasn't Alchemy the London Hammersmith gig, or is London Hammersmith and Alchemy different? I actually need to know that, because if there's different, that means there's different versions, and you know what that means. Gonna have to check them out. Right, let's do this. Extended intro version. What a banger. Ooh, okay.
It's a London song now.
The moment you hear those organy sounds. Uh-oh.
Well, we wrote this one down. I was down West London one day. There's a lot of Irish people living down there. You hear a lot of Irish music. Yeah, that's right. There's an old blind Irish guy singing these songs on his concertina. His accordion or whatever.
Accordion. I need to remember that. I'll write that down.
You get there when you're down there, you know, there's as we all know, it's multinational. You know, calypso music.
He likes his calypso music. He does that on So Far Away, doesn't he, at the beginning? I like that, by the way. A few people said he didn't like that version. I'm going to write that as well. Calypso.
Get a little reggae music. Give us some reggae music.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is... It does that to me. My whole body does that.
That's what we call the Irish reggae bit. Now we need some good old British saxophone. Well,
Wow, what a band. What a band. Dude. The band are quieting down.
Belladonna's on the high street.
What?
Press up.
Guys, that isn't just a... I know yous know, but that isn't just a fade out where it's the actual... have taken the mix of this song and faded it out. The band have done it, and there's one... I think they do it on Jesu Soul. On that version, live at London, they fade out naturally on stage where everyone quietens down. That's what they're doing there. What is... It's such a basic thing to add to a song, but in reality... It's actually difficult to try and get that natural fade out, but they do it so well.
On the offbeat, and the stalls are just a side shows. Victoriana's old clothes. Yeah, she got the skirt so tight now. She wanna travel like now. She wanna turn up all her roots now. Gonna turn up on her boots now. She thinks she's tough. She ain't no English rose. The blind singer, he's seen enough and he knows. He do a song about a long gone Irish girl. But I got one for you, Poterbello Belle. She sees a man upon his back there, escaping from a sack there. Belle's down her lingers, her gloves ain't got no fingers. Blind man, he's singing the Irish. Get his money in a tin dish, just a corner serenader. Once upon a time he could have made her. She thinks she's tough, she ain't no English woman. When the blind singer he's seen him the fanny no. You do a song about a long gone Irish girl.
You know what? The first thing that I pick up on is it's what the piano does. It instantly makes it more emotional. If you want this song to be more of a upbeat, let's just have a dance. You know, this was an upbeat song. Stick it on. It's in the background. Cool. But the moment you add this piano to it and the saxophone, it makes it more emotional because those are quite emotional sounding instruments, especially the piano. The moment a piano adds to anything, it gives it more of a listen. Sit down and listen to this. Like this is, do you know what I mean? Whereas when it's just straight rock and roll with none of it, it's like happy, and then there's an element of sadness with a piano. That's what I get, but that doesn't mean it's bad. See, a lot of people can say, by the way, that's my chair. But a lot of people can say, like, oh, some people say to me, Joe, you listen to depressing music. How is this depressing? This is rock and roll. Because it's just because it's a piano and it's got minor chords in it, which minor chords are like also known as sad sounding chords, and major chords, for those who might not know, are known as happy chords. So this is like a minor. Sounds like quite sad. And then you got the major, which is like happy. But with piano, unless you're playing those major chords, the minor chords sound way in that element of the sad realm. It doesn't mean it's depressing though. Like I always get that. My brother Max gets it as well. Everyone's like, "Your songs are depressing." I don't believe they are. I think he because he listens to those kind of minor songs, but they have more emotion to them. It doesn't mean they're sadder. And what you have in the charts today is just nothing but major chords, and it's all this pop, and it's got no emotion to it. And that's one thing that it's actually people are not registering. They're like they're just listening to it, and it's before you know it, it's off. And it's like, did you even what was good about that? And they're just like, it was good, it was funky. It's like, nah, mate, there's no emotion to that for me. The lyrics, I don't even know what they were saying. Like the melody is just, oh guys, I know you guys know modern day music today is not worth talking about. But do you know what I'm saying? I think this version I would want to see live more. Whereas the other version, I would want to maybe stick it on in the car. Like, let's get... It's different strokes. You know what I mean? They're both good. I don't know. Just sit.
But I got one for you, Poterbello Belle. They said these barrel boys are hawking, parakeet is squawking on a chunk of paper RAYGO. Get the riding on a wino.
That piano's sick.
Did you get the reggae music and the rumble? Better down is in the jungle, but she ain't no garden flower. Ain't no distressing in town. Better down the walks, better down the taking control. She don't care about your window box, your bottom roof. Let's do a song about a long gone Irish girl. But I got one for you, Poterbello Belle.
Now we're on the organ. Listen to that saxophone. Keep it in mind. Back into the Calypso version. Mate, what album? Dire Straits Live 7892. What an album! I might have to get this. Right, that saxophone at the end, it reminded me of and someone said this the other day, Bruce Springsteen vibes, you know, the E Street Band, you know, and also, do you know, like, what's that song, I'm Just Waiting on a Friend by the Rolling Stones, and I actually do think this, they were in some way correlated, the E Street Band and the Rolling Stones, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. The E Street Band. E Street. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Let's see who the saxophone player was. Sax player. Clarence Clemens. I've heard of him before. An absolute genius. Now, let me just see. Did Clarence Clemens play on Waiting on a Friend by any chance? Because it's similar playing. No, he didn't. Clarence did not play saxophone on Rolling Stones' Waiting on a Friend. The iconic saxophone solo on that song, Tattoo You, was played by jazz musician Sonny Rollins. Very similar, though. If you guys haven't heard that Waiting on a Friend by the Rolling Stones, great song. You should react to that. But, similar kind of playing. The scales that he's playing, proper nice. Anyway, what version did I prefer? Again, by the way, guys, this isn't a comparison. A lot of people can take comparison in a bad way, and it's just like, there's no comparing. It's a bit of fun. You know what I mean? I know you guys know, but I've seen it on other channels, all the comments like, you can't compare. Why? It's a bit of fun. They're both good. I think the better version, I actually preferred... Ooh. You can't take away... I mean, unfortunately, the piano is too good. The little accordion, the calypso... I'm going to have to say, if I could only listen to one version again, it's going to be that one. But saying that, this is the craziest part. I will probably put the Poterbello at Rainbow 1979, where it's just a 4-piece, on me Spotify playlist. I get these different moods. Like when I'm in a car, sometimes I want that raw rock and roll. And then I'll probably have a more moody one for the more, let me get in my feels and put the other version on. And that's one other thing I want to quickly do. Either I'm tripping or Poterbello mushrooms are a food. So it's Poterbello Belle, not some sort of food. Yeah, no, let's see. Meaning. What is a song by, it doesn't seem to have, okay, maybe not that, but it's Poterbello mushroom, I think. It is. Poterbello, spelled Portobello. Fully mature version of a Argaceous bussoporus species of the mushroom. Who knows, guys? Listen, this has been fun, actually. I might do a few more comparisons in the future. Let me know if you think I should or not in the comment section below. Also, if you want to suggest a song of your choice, you know what to do. Read the link in the description below and go from there. But most importantly, subscribe, guys, because I've got plenty more where this came from. Hope you're all having a cracking day. Until next time, peace.